although while we're here today, this building and many others that are linked with it across our land have been caught red-handed on many occasions, fabricating and twisting our news that we pay for to fit the destructive government agenda. This shameful corporation, the BBC, are instrumental in keeping the people subdued, ill-informed and under the complete control as an Orwellian government propaganda machine. Freedom to report in an unbiased format has long ago been bought, despite our licence fees, and taken away by the very people that are supposed to be our public servants. Not masters to dictate the news and programmes to suit political agendas. We see your inability to bring the truth. We see your destructive agenda. We see the propaganda. We know that the word programming has now become literal in its terminology, and Auntie Beeb has become a menace. The TV has, over the last 40 years, become the most influential tool on this planet. Yet in this country, the service you pay for, forced to pay for, by threat and menace from the BBC, is known to be corrupt, biased, bigoted, fascist and racist. They are the very definition of the words they use against the people with different views to them. Patriots of the EDL are called racists. We're called far-right bigots and fascists. Well, we must ask these people right now, right here, outside the organisation that seeks to destroy our country with the celebration of division and hate of unity because of government political experiments. Where is your proof of racism? Where is the proof that allows you to label the EDL as being far right? Where is the proof to press terms like bigots and fascists?
We've got people from all over the fucking world supporting us. How can they call us racist?
Where is your conclusive proof for the EDL being Islamophobic? EDL! EDL! They have sparse evidence but still choose to carelessly throw these words around when they clearly have no idea of their real meaning. We should tell the uneducated propaganda chiefs inside this building the exact definition of the words. These phrases they use to discredit and paint a dark picture of the people of this country. The very people that are forced to fund this corrupt and sinister corporation. Let's start with the BBC's favourite word used to discredit and silence us. The word racist. It is a belief that all members of each race possess characteristics, abilities or qualities specific to that race, especially so as to distinguish it as inferior or superior to other races. Prejudice, discrimination or antagonism directed against someone of a different race based on the belief that one's own race is superior or inferior. I don't believe this definition describes the EDL in any form. So just a few points I would like to make about this, Auntie Beeb. Number one, Islam is not a race of people. It is a multicultural, multiracial, political ideology of slavery, conveniently disguising itself as a so-called religion. Your use of the word racist is both insulting and nothing short of misinformation and discrimination against us, the people who pay your bill. Number two, the people do not feel inferior or superior to any particular race of people, nor do they believe members of each race possess characteristics, abilities or qualities specific to that race. Although we do see that our country is the most overpopulated in Europe, quickly becoming unsustainable due to forced immigration. This does not make us racist. Number three, your choice to use the word racist at every opportunity has not gone unnoticed, and we are prepared to warn you now. it will be considered libelous if you continue to use these words. The definition of far right, Auntie B, has actually been making many among us laugh. It refers purely to political groups whose opinions are extreme compared solely to whose? Yours? Yet we shouldn't know what yours actually are, because you are supposed to be neutral, are you not? Another little joke for Auntie B there. Again, a few more points I would like to make. Number one, we fundamentally have freedom in this country. Our freedom to have an opinion can never be taken away. Nor can anyone be labelled or stereotyped for having an opinion, because that is fascist, is it not? Number two, as a street movement and non-political group, neither are we extreme in our views. Wars have been fought and won, and lives lost to protect our freedoms, our heritage and our culture. Is it extreme to preserve our way of life and our culture for future generations? It is only patriotic in nature, neither racist nor far right. Number three, your choice to use these words in every available instance has not gone unnoticed, and again, we will consider it to be libelous if you continue to do so. The definition of bigots or bigoted, a person or persons who have strong, unreasonable beliefs and who think that anyone who does not have the same beliefs is wrong. It's not our belief, and it ceases to be unreasonable when we see the unemployment figures going up, our schools overstretched, the NHS being abused. It's just a few examples. These shortages are self-explanatory and clearly evident. It is not our belief, nor is it unreasonable, to want to accommodate people from our own communities that have paid into the system all of their lives to become second best to fresh immigrants, taking priority over housing and benefits. This is common sense. It is not unreasonable. Again, your decision to use these words at every available opportunity has not gone unnoticed, and it will be classed as libelous if you continue to do so. The definition of the words fascist and fascism. Someone who supports fascism, a person again on the far right of politics. Someone who does not allow any opposition. Fascism is a political system based around a single, very powerful leader. Dictatorship and state control, and in which any political opposition is not allowed. Sounds more like the government that we have at the moment than the EDL. We are not a political party, nor do we have powerful leaders. Also, we have no state control nor power of veto. To be proud of your country and heritage is patriotism, not fascism in any form. I would like to point out as well, the EDL refused to support fascism, unlike the UAF and Antifa, who feel the need to try and stifle our opinions. They are in actual fact the true fascists, with the higher arrest rates and greater levels of violence, but never get labelled as such. Your choice to use these words, Auntie B, at every available instance has not gone unnoticed, and we will consider it to be libelous if you continue to do so. Islamophobia next. The mere mention of which it sort of invokes the thought of a diagnosis by a doctor, does it not? To safeguard their ideas and ideals, this word pretty much sums up all that is wrong with the obviously government and evil Marxist-led BBC. Along with other corrupt media corporations, just another word to silence the critics, made up by the very people that perpetuate the problem. Islamophobic, a dislike or a prejudice against Islam and Muslims, especially as a political force. A political force, a political ideology, not a religion. How can anyone find it reasonable to accuse someone of irrational political hatred when the hate is clearly being levelled at us. We are not Islamophobic, we are Islamo-recusant. Recusant meaning refusal to submit, refusal to comply, refusal to be enslaved. This is a better fitting term, as the word Islam means literally to submit, to become a slave. The words the BBC used to discredit the EDL are both wrong by definition and entirely misleading. And we are not blind to the fact that it has been done on purpose. It is time these labels were removed. It's time you tell your funding public the truth about the EDL. It's time to report on what matters instead of what you want people to hear and see. Not only do the BBC mislead over the truth about the EDL, they will also have you believe that Muslims, when they groom and rape, are Asian. And when they do even the slightest good, suddenly they are Muslims. Using the term Asian, when in fact this is a Middle Eastern ideology, is simply astounding. This is a massive and indignant slur on all Asian and countries of the Orient. And the BBC need to rectify this or be held accountable for it. Constantly feeding the public, us who fund them, a twisted and diluted version of the news to fulfil the corrupt government needs should be classed as what it is, fraud and dealt with accordingly. Their inability to report unbiased news has not gone unnoticed by the public. They are waking up to the false reporting and the hiding of the facts. What was once the great BBC, the warm glow of Auntie Beeb of an evening, is now known nationally as the Biased Broadcasting Corporation. We are forced and threatened to pay a licence tax for the drivel they produce. So let me tell you this, write to them, send a letter removing their implied right of access to your property, and just stop paying them. There is absolutely no law in this land that stipulates you have to pay. When we pay for something, we expect a service, and we are not receiving that service as we should be. Just boycott the licence until such time they are out of the government's pockets, until such a time that they actually report news as it should be, unbiased, factual, truthful and honest. Whose streets? Whose streets? Whose streets? Well, I'm going to do this in two parts. So we've got Mark up next, and put your hands together for Mark, please.